Well, sources have told India today that 6 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists entered Punjab on December 30th. All terrorists reached Pathankot Air Base using a Land Cruiser and a Pajero. They were trained in Bhawalpur in Pakistan's Punjab and were asked to blow up aircrafts at Indian Air Force Base in Pathankot. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval had alerted the security forces to thwart the attack. AK-47, hand grenades, GPS system and heavy ammunition has been recovered from the 4 terrorists, those who have been killed by the security forces in Pathankot. Let me now go across to Air Marshal Kapil Kak, who in fact knows much more about the Pathankot Air Base and the way security forces function. So thank you so much for joining us here on India Today. It has been an audacious attack, but the security forces have been able to not let them, these terrorists, go into the technical area. They have been stopped. They have been cordoned off in the outer periphery of the Pathankot Air Force Base.
Undoubtedly, because it obviously, while there was some intelligence in a broader general sense, the attack could have happened in Srinagar, Jammu, Udhampur, Pathankot, Adhampur, any base could have been struck in Punjab. But therefore, the way in which the Indian Air Force Garud, which is a sort of a special force for the Air Force, the way they have handled this without notice, neutralized the terrorists, of course paid very heavily that 3 IAF personnel have died, including one of them being one of those special force airmen. This is a nation's moment to remember how people martyr themselves of the armed forces for a cause which is so dear to them, the nation. This is the first part. The second one is, look at the competence level, in the sense that the initiative in any terror attack is always with the terrorists. And there is no way you can say where he'll strike, at what time and how. Now here again, despite having no notice that the airmen did not allow the terrorists to get anywhere in the vicinity of the technical area or where the aircraft were parked. There are fighter aircraft, there are helicopter gunships there. There are all ranges of aircraft at Pathankot Air Base. It's a very premier air base. Contrast this with the attack done by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan on the Pakistan Air Force Base and the Pakistan Naval Base. I mean, they were able to play havoc into the assets of both the Navy and the Air Force, which Pakistan Air Force will take many years to. So that's the first point. But I think there is an international dimension I'd like to highlight. This is a wake-up call for President Xi Jinping of China, President Putin of Russia, Prime Minister David Cameron of UK, President Hollande of France, and of course, most important of all, Barack Obama, who have progressively leaned on Prime Minister Modi against his wishes to improve the dialogue process with Pakistan and reinitiate the peace process. I mean, it's well known, this is not rocket science. Because of their pressures and their sort of nudging him, he has moved forward. Now he's between a rock and a hard place. Because if there is no reaction and we insulate the peace process from terror, then the current NDA government is as good as UPA 3. And secondly, Prime Minister Modi is his own man. He takes initiatives on his own as an individual with his persona. Now this is his initiative to drop by and see Nawaz Sharif. Now what about the Pakistani government? What have they said? You cannot make the statement that there are some elements who are not under our control. But what is Pakistan doing about the elements who are under their control? What are they doing about Hafiz Mohammed Saeed? Now, this is a wake-up call for the whole world. India has managed this terror attack as it has managed so many over the last 25 years.
Absolutely.
We'll probably have to manage another 10 years or more.
You're bang on there, sir, about the action or the lack of it on the Pakistani side against people like Hafiz Saeed. Sir, if you could also tell our viewers about this Air Force base. What sort of an Air Force base is this? It is right, at the border, one of the main strategic installation in the defense as far as Pakistan is concerned.
Well, I've been there during the 1965 war, and from that far back, and I have been there also during the 1971 war. So when we look at Pathankot Premier base, it's very, very close to the border. That makes it very vulnerable. It's a 6 minutes flying time for Pakistani aircraft to cross the border and hit Pathankot. But the terrorists have been able to get through only at the guard posts. Now, all guard posts cannot be manned to the level that you cannot intercept gun-wielding 6 people suddenly at 3 a.m. in the morning. So that's what I was saying earlier, that it's been remarkable success of these airmen at the guard room who have been able to stop these terrorists. I can't imagine the dreadful consequences it would have on the assets of the Air Force if these people had managed to get into the technical area and blow up a squadron of aircraft, fighter aircraft, and perhaps a unit of the attack helicopters. So easy. So to that extent, the Pathankot air base has been chosen by Pakistan with great care.
Absolutely.
Because it was, in their view, it was far easier to penetrate this base. They knew what are the assets available there. This would have been a great international story as to how much havoc the terrorists can wreak on the armed forces of India. That has been stopped, and I think this is where the nation needs to really, really admire the grit, determination, and the willingness to give their life for the cause of the nation when the situation so demands.
Absolutely, Sir Captain Air Marshal Kaka, the words that you've said, the nation needs to admire the courage with which these airmen fought these terrorists. Of course, the element of surprise always with the attackers. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on India Today. Let's also very quickly listen in to what the other experts on the Indian side had to say about this terror attack.